I think personally my biggest fear and the fact that, oh, and your hole in one was completely legit is to actually get a hole in one but have a qualifier. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was on my second shot, or yeah, but it was on a par three course or something like that. The fact that you have a full-fledged, legit first time hole in one, you don't need to worry about having to explain it. You don't need to
Yes.
worry about having to justify you calling it a hole in one. That's perfect. That makes it
Yep.
awesome, man.
Which is
Exactly.
perfect that you brought that up, Evan, because part of our hole in one extravaganza episode, we've got a couple questions that we're gonna go, we're gonna do our this or that on. So
Well, what do
oh
you know?
What do
yeah,
you
God,
know?
I'm
Yeah.
perfect.
getting good at this. I'm getting the segues. Oh my God, this is great.
Should we just yeah, we'll just hire you on the spot. But anyways, well, yeah, there's a like Caleb said, we have a number of things that we want to talk about related to hole in ones. And I guess we'll start off, Evan, you kind of threw yours out.
Mhm.
Fears on hole in one opportunities. Caleb,
Yeah, man.
what's your biggest fear um going into you may get a hole in one day? I'm hoping you do.
Yeah, so I think the obvious one, right, is that you're playing by yourself.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's the big one. And then I did see we've had those polls out on Twitter earlier today. There was one that caught my eye a little bit, as far as picking up the tab or whatever. Which I know, like Owen and I have had our discussions about that, but I think so. My mindset is, I think I would be afraid if I was at a bigger club, and this is what the tweet said from that guy. I'm his name is escaping me, so I'm sorry. But he said at his club, if you hit a hole in one, you pick up the tab for the day. And some guys get hit with like $1,000 like plus. And like Arrowhead wouldn't do that, so I'm not too concerned about it. I think, seeing the pros do it, it would kind of give me that sense of like, hey, like, I'll buy the Cokes, I'll buy the round of beers or
Mhm.
whatever on like for my group. Or, like in Owen's instance, there was two guys that saw it right there with him. So like I would, if they said something about it, like I would offer. But, if my fear would be at a club like that guy said, where it's like, that's the thing, you hit a hole in one, you pick up the tab that day. Like, I'm not a professional. I do not make that money. That is not going to go over well with the wife. So I think obviously first one is playing alone. And I think second one would be, you know, telling the club, yeah, I hit a hole in one. They're like, oh yeah, tabs on you. And I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't hit a hole in one today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say at that point, I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah.
It could be an informal thing with the guys I was playing with, but I don't need my name on that little plaque in the clubhouse that bad to where I'm down thousands of dollars in drinks.
Yeah.
No thanks. That's not worth it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I went digging on the internet to kind of see what people were, what people's fears were on hole in ones from just different threads and stuff. And the most common one was having to pick up the tab. And
yeah.
yeah, Caleb, you and I were talking earlier. I'm very back and forth on it because there's times where I'm like, now I lucked out. It was at Arrowhead. There's not really a clubhouse bar and stuff like that. I went in and said, hey, I got a hole in one. What do you guys do? You guys do anything for that? They printed off a certificate. They signed it. My wife signed it because she was the witness. And then kind of moved on with the day. So didn't get anything like too special, which whatever makes sense. But also didn't have to pick up a tab. I feel like there's a lot of clubs that we would play at where you
Oh
would have to
yeah.
pick up the tab. But I don't know. It's like, why are we making the guy that just got like why are we giving anxiety to the guy that just or gal that just hit their first hole in
Yes.
one? Like, let's celebrate him and everybody buy him a drink if he wants one or
Yeah.
contribute, contribute in some way. But I just don't think that you should be paying for everybody else. If you're a member at a club and you're well off and maybe sure, but like, dude, I'm 24 years old. Like I'm not, I
Yeah.
can't afford to pay for everybody's drinks. It's not.
Yeah, not doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I think that it should be reversed. I think that if you hit a hole in one, maybe people take care of you. There's a round on you or,
Mhm.
or for you. But I can't
Yeah, I
stand
mean,
to.
because that one guy said that he like there's the hole in one club or whatever. So even if it's like, hey, if you're a member and you want to be part of the hole in one club, but you haven't hit one yet, you throw in $5 before the round. And then if you happen to hit a hole in one that week, it all goes back to you and then it restarts or whatever. Like, I think that would be interesting, but
Really cool.
I would not feel comfortable being able to be like, yeah, I can't do that today.
No.
And I won't be
Yeah.
coming back. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, well, that's biggest fears. Yeah, I think picking up the tab, and then I've played a lot of solo golf, so I'm right there with you. And I was always fearing that would happen, and no one would believe me. And yeah, just having the witness just means so much more to it. But yeah, so I'm hoping. Evan, have you ever hit a hole in one?
I have not hit a hole in one.
Okay.
Like,
so,
I think the closest I've been on a par 3 is like 2 feet. So like we're talking below average golfers. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not even close, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a close call a couple years ago. We talked about it, I think, on the first episode. But yeah, and then we'll talk about my other experience soon. But yeah, playing solo would be biggest fear, and I hope for you guys that it doesn't happen solo. Just go and play with somebody or record it. So, but even then, it's, I don't know. It just scares me.
I will say though, between you two or probably my dad would be probably the first people that I would call. Like, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, like, Owen, are you there? No. Okay. Like, maybe you got caught in a situation like me where I was unavailable, and then like calling dad, like dad doesn't answer, like, Evan, like, please tell me that you're there.
I'm at least sending a picture of the ball in the hole. Like, I feel like at that point, it doesn't mean a whole lot, but that's an honor thing. I'm showing there's some sort of proof going out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I threw it on my, I don't post much on Instagram or Facebook. But no, I posted me with that ball by the flag on Facebook, on Instagram, on I put me walking, or no, I put me finding the ball in the hole on my Snapchat story. Like, I was making sure everybody knew that I got a hole in one. But yeah, so
yeah, but you're lucky we're not, we're a few years removed from like the whole knee on the green is a penalty stroke thing, because I would have hated to have to invoke that rule with your knee on the tee or your knee on the green, with your ball.
See,
that would have been tough.
I kind of regret doing that for the picture, just slightly, because I mean, the reason I did it is I'm 6'5".
Yeah, you're 6'5". What else are you gonna do?
So like, I kind of had to do it, or I was gonna just tower over the flag and not get the hole and everything. But yeah, so thank God that rules. Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah,
I'm glad
you're
that yeah,
I won't invoke it this time. I don't have to. It's not
below average golf.
Slugger white Caleb down there. He's just throwing the book at people.
God, yeah,
I get so jealous out on the course that I'm like, I'm not accepting that. You're putting a 2 on the card.
Well, I'm legit. I got a 1 on the card, so I'm very happy.
Awesome, man.